excited, Kirsten?
Yes! I couldn't sleep last night. I stayed up till 2 in the morning, so I'm so excited.
How about you, Alyssa? Are you excited? What are you excited about?
Get hyped up.
Jan, are you pumped out of your mind?
Yes.
What are you excited about? What about you, Ray?
Let's get with it.
Oh yeah! You getting pumped?
I'm pumped.
You getting pretty pumped?
Yeah, totally.
What are you pumped about?
Everything. I'm pumped about you, I'm pumped about me, I'm pumped about the Giants, I'm pumped about church, I'm pumped about Jesus.
What do you know about your part this year?
That I'm old.
That you're old?
And you're gonna color my hair with powder.
Yes.
And I get to be sarcastic, which comes natural.
She doesn't care if it's 10 below. She's sitting by the fire's cozy glow. She don't care about the cold and the winds that blow. She just says, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Ooh, here goes the storm. Why should she worry when she's nice and warm? Her guy by her side and the lights down low. She just says, let it snow, let it snow.
Cool. And Brian, how long have you been coming to this church?
I've been coming to church for a year and a half now. I first met you guys when I saw a car wash. I was like, hey, that's a nice car wash. Get my car washed. And from there on.
The youth car wash?
Yes.
That's how you started coming to this
Yes.
church? That's amazing. What about you, Amanda?
I went to Refuge, and I found out about Refuge because my brother went.
You were in Gift to Remember last year. What part did you play? And did you have a lot of fun doing it?
Oh my gosh, it was the happiest moment of my life.
Who are you?
I'm Everett DeMaurier.
All right, Everett, tell us a little about yourself.
I'm a Capricorn. I like long walks on the beach. I like the soulful sound of the Backstreet Boys.
Glasses.
I've been recording the whole time. Yeah. What are your names? All right, state your name.
I'm Jim Lee, I think.
Jim, how many programs have you done here?
This will be my fourth year.
And what are some things you've done before?
I played Frank for 2 years. Last year I sang in the choir. This year I'm going to be Benny.
You were playing the part of who this year?
I am playing the part of Peggy Flynn.
Now, Peggy Flynn, as I've asked people who their favorite characters in this performance, like 5 or 6 of them said that you are their favorite character. Why would that be?
I have no idea.
Tell us a little about Peggy.
Peggy is kind of this, well, she's arrogant and she thinks that she's the best at everything and that she has, that things can't run without her. But at the same time, she's just like this screw up. She mixes things up. She makes people do things that are just terrible, and yet she thinks that she's helpful, and she's really not. She's just irritated by most people.
Who are you playing the story?
I'm playing Oscar Malone.
How long have you been involved in the drama program here?
Since the beginning.
And how did it start for you?
A begging and screaming phone call from Dave Aubrey.
And how did that conversation go?
Dave had an idea to create a musical with original content, so we just sort of did it.
The story's like really more upscale this year, so.
Meaning what?
The production is a lot bigger. There's a lot more bigger musical numbers, and there's a lot more characters and a lot more parts, and they're in different ranges of ages.
Do you like this year's story?
I love it. I love it.
This year's touches my heart because it talks about the draft, and I went through that back in the mid-'60s, and that was not a fun time.
Tell us a little bit about those emotions.
Oh, it's you don't have any control over your life. It's not a matter of if you're going to get drafted, just a matter of when. And everything in life goes on hold.
What about you, Brian? Who are you?
Well, my role, my character, he is a very, very important character in the film. He is soldier number 1. He doesn't even have a name. He's that powerful. He doesn't need a name. He's just soldier number 1.
Now, you've been known around this church for years as kind of the drama person. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Oh, goodness. So I grew up in the theater. My father is a theater arts major, and he taught theater, and so we were there all the time. I was in some of his productions, and so that was a lot of fun growing up. And then, of course, in high school, it was a natural fit for me to go the thespian route and
So I did that, and then in college I dabbled a little bit, and then I just continued on with that in my adult career, but just for fun.
Have you been in one of these programs before?
I have.
What were you in?
I was in the first 2 Dover Christmas stories
Yep.
in the choir.
And do you enjoy that?
I did enjoy that.
So what are you looking forward to about this year?
I'm really looking forward to see how this story is going to progress and just the leaps and bounds that we're going to be making as a group, as a cast and choir in the program.
And the first 2 years were,
Dover Christmas Story,
and last year,
A Gift to Remember,
and the name this year.
The Lockerman Letter.
And now you are the author of all 3 shows, is that correct?
Correct.
And you have a
Which
background?
means I'm entitled to all the royalties. All the money, half the money this thing has made is mine.
I'm Casey, and I'm Caroline.
Okay, and who are you in the play?
I'm Faye, and I'm Harriet. Yeah.
And you guys are both going to be singing this year in the play too, right?
Yes.
Are you excited about that?
Yes.
What song are you going to be singing?
Like.
White Christmas. What are some different dynamics that the story touches?
Well, I think the trusting friends and then having that trust apparently broken is a shattering experience to my younger character.
It's been amazing. I think just watching how God works and the things that He brings together. It's very humbling to be a part of it, and I think watching everybody and how talented they are. We have a very talented congregation, and so it's really just a blessing to watch everybody else.
What's been one of your greatest memories of the past 3 years?
Just watching it evolve. I mean, it's the cool thing about this church is you go, we need a cannon. Okay, let's go get a cannon. I mean, it's just, there's no limitation to what happened. And the idea of just the absolute ridiculous. If you were to write the play about writing the play, nobody would believe it because it just doesn't happen that way. You don't get the man who wrote the last song for Frank Sinatra to write the song for you. It just doesn't happen. But just all the little pieces just falling into place is just amazing.
Who's one of your favorite characters this year?
My favorite character is definitely Oscar because he reminds me of my grandfather.
Reminds you of your grandfather?
That's what my grandfather would have probably done. If,
No way.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite character in the show this year? One of them.
Well, I guess. Peggy. Yeah.
Why Peggy?
I love her.
She's hilarious.
She talks like this. It's so funny.
Who's one of your favorite characters this year?
I think the Peggy character is hysterical.
Yeah, you're like the 7th person to say
The
that.
Peggy character. I think that Miss Time Capsule is just genius.
Yeah.
She's amazing. And then, the core guys are just, fantastic.
What's one of your favorite things about this year's story?
Well, while I was reading it, I would say probably Oscar's part because it was really touching when he was talking to his dad.
So who's one of your favorite characters?
I'd have to say Donnie.
Donnie?
Donnie.
And tell us a little bit about Donnie.
Donnie is this really just exuberant kid who has a very fast-paced mind.
And how old is he?
He's about 5,
Yep.
5-ish.
What is one of your favorite scenes in this year's story?
Well, I think it'll be the last one.
The last one?
Yeah.
Yep. And who's one of your favorite characters?
There's Nora, the motorcycle queen, or motorcycle riding beauty queen. And then the lady at the county building.
Peggy, yep.
Those will be priceless.
What about you, Brian? What's one of your favorite parts?
My favorite part, I just love Peggy. She is amazing.
She's hilarious, isn't she?
The country accent is just amazing.
And you're playing a part of somebody this year, yes?
I'm playing, I'm playing the loud, fat mayor, which I don't know how I'm going to gain weight to do that. I've discovered a meal between breakfast and brunch that I'm working on that I think might help. And if you drink, you can take mayonnaise. It's the whole big squeeze mayonnaise things. I'm strapped in this. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna do my best to try to gain some weight. I have no idea how that's gonna work because I've never. This is a temple. This is a temple. Why are you laughing? I'm in great shape. Round is a shape. I looked it up.
Now, what do you think about this? Everett has a solo in one of the songs this year.
Can't wait.
Tell us a little bit about the mayor.
The mayor is this loud, grandstanding mayor. He He cares a lot about himself and supposedly about his town, and he basically hides the fact that he has no idea what he's doing by shifting the blame into the town of Seaford. So as long as people believe that it's Seaford's fault, then the mayor really doesn't have to do anything.
Is it true that you're going to be signing a kid's forehead?
Absolutely. Signing several kids.
What do you think about this year's story?
I love it. Yeah. Like,
Pretty intense, right?
I love your scenes. It's like watching Notebook. I was like crying.
The Notebook.
Yes.
Oh man. What would be a reason that you'd invite somebody to come to this year's program?
I think they'll have a lot of fun, and it will really grab them. The story will grab them as much as the singing and the Bethlehem and the other stuff that's going to happen.
What's one of the reasons that somebody should come this year?
Because there's a lot of talented people in it, and it's good to see people using their talents for Christ and see something a little bit different than just the regular Mary and Joseph story.
Why should people come see the Lockman Letter?
Because it's a true story. It's about people. You'll recognize somebody on that stage. You'll either laugh at them or you'll cry with them. I mean, we're all in some way. We're all soldiers. I mean, this is a story about us. And the whole thing too is we wanted to write a story about our town. All three of these plays are about our town. This is ours. And that's another thing too, is we own this. Dover becomes a little more real to us every year we do this.
And what do you like about this year's story?
I really like the Bethlehem scenes. I mean, I like the story, the concept. I like the soldier story. Dover, of course, is a big military city, and so it really hits close to home. And I really like the concept of looking at the Bethlehem story from the soldier's perspective. And so bringing that through into the 50s and then bringing it into current day, I think is it's touching. And some of the things that we can't even understand, only to a certain degree, the draft and those kinds of things that we hear about from our past soldiers. So I think that's going to be interesting. I think it's going to get all the generations involved in this particular production.
All right, well, why should somebody come see the Lockman Letter this Christmas?
It's definitely unlike anything that we've ever put on, in the fact that...
Okay, so why should somebody come see this year's performance?
Because you won't see it anywhere else. And you will never see it after this. Here's the thing. This is about a 60-year plan. This happened in 1952. It's 2012. Last year we made this play and we decided not to do it again. We can't do this again. So this will be it will only be 2012 once. We're working on some time displacement thing to try to work on that, but I don't know if that's going to work. So probably will only be 2012 once. So we will never be able to do this again. Ever.
Ever.
Never.
All right, any closing remarks to all your fans?
I'm back! Paige is back!
What do you want to say to all your fans?
I have fans?
Anything you guys want to say to your fans?
I love you guys. Thank you guys for supporting me last year. And those guys that voted for me for my award last year for my wonderful line, thank you.
Anything you want to say to your fans? Virgil?
Watch out for Peggy.
Anything else you want to say to all the hundreds and thousands
All
of
the
fans?
7 or 8 people that will be watching this? You will enjoy it. And the biggest way to enjoy it is to be part of it. We need many people. And we're still developing it. I mean, no matter what you do, you can be a part of this thing, and you will never enjoy it more than being a part of it. And the only downside to it, see my hand? Come over here. Is the fact that you go through withdrawal. I mean, when you go through this thing, you're walking around afterwards going, where did they all go? Can we get together and do this again? You will go through withdrawal. It will impact you that much.
Anything else you want to say?
No, hi, Mom.
Hi. And what's the name of next year's program?
The Butterfly That Saved Christmas.
We all will be together if the fates allow.